my podcast show. We're on season 3, third year in existence. And it's a Resilient Film Studios production. I'm your host, Michael Canyon Drebert. And my wonderful guest today, very old, dear friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time. As a matter of fact, I played keyboards in her band. Anyway, Miss Taylor P. Collins has carved out a remarkable career as a contemporary blues and jazz artist, vocalist, and band leader. Far away from Columbus, Ohio, and her native home of Norfolk, Virginia, Collins is one of Northern California's most valued treasures, who is highly revered by her music constituents and fans alike. Mentored by her dear friend, the legendary vocalist Miss Ruth Brown, Collins developed and honed an original and impressionable blues style that unmistakably makes her one of the genre's most commanding artists in both live and recorded performances. Her unique, impeccable appearance, along with her sophisticated and powerful vocal performances, are why she has developed and maintained a fan base that has been consistently devoted and loyal throughout the years. She's performed in the Monterey Blues Festival, the Monterey International Blues Festival, Seaside Sundays Blues in the Park, San Jose International Jazz Festival, Blues Wing Blues Festival, Sonoma County Blues Festival, Metro Fountain Blues Festival, Redwood City, that's the home of where I was born, Blues Festival, Oakland Blues and Heritage Festival, Waterfront Blues Festival, Portland, Oregon, and so on and on and on. The Club Fox, Redwood City, Angela Alquez, and just a wonderful person to meet. She's the Strong, Confident Woman CD is basically released now, and we'll have some information on how you can get a hold of that. And without further ado, here she is live, Miss Taylor P. Collins. Hi, Taylor.
Hello. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Well, I remember when we were playing together, and you would say, "Are you sure you don't want to join the band?" I said, "No, I don't want to join the band. I think I played more than your keyboard player played, because I was afraid you'd fire me."
Those were some fun days, good old days, like they say. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I sit and think about those times, and I wouldn't trade those for the world. I really wouldn't.
No. Uh-uh. So tell me quickly about your Confident Woman CD.
Well,
The
yeah,
title.
so we just got it finished. It was released on March 28th this year.
Okay. All right.
And that date has particular significance for me because I lost my son on that date 4 years ago, and he and I wrote 3 of the songs on the album, and it was just something that I wanted to make sure that we got finished and dedicated to him, since he wasn't here to hear the finished product. But it was just a labor of love, and to get it done was just amazing to me, just amazing. And the musicians, my band, they were incredible. They were absolutely incredible, and were with me all the way through. The studio, landed tracks in the studio, and now we're performing them, and um, it's just a really special project, very special project, and I'll cherish it the rest of my life.
Good.
And I hope he's listening.
He is. He is.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. Well, I've got a slew of questions to ask you, but the first one is really the one that's going to kick things off. And
Okay.
I mean, uh, I would imagine that the the blues is often described as something you don't find, but something that finds you. And I would say, when and where did the blues first find you?
My goodness. And that's such a true statement because I had no idea that I wanted to do that, do blues. I did rock for a few years with a band called Aura, and we actually originated in Redwood City.
Yeah.
And when I met Tammy, she heard some of the stuff that we did on the Aura album, back then, which was some incredible stuff back then. And she says, "You should do blues." And of course, I'm going, why? Why would I do that? Because I had uh, I had an experience where, well, when I was married to this person, he was definitely into the blues, and I didn't like him, so I didn't like blues either. So when Tammy introduced me to it, she had started me listening to some of the artists, and I found some of the styles of some of the artists were kind of like right up my alley. I'm on the funky side of the blues. I'm not
Okay.
traditional in that sense. Got to have some funk in there. I mean, you work with me, you should know.
I got
But
funk in my blues, my blood.
that's right. That's right. And I kind of got to liking it, and I started looking and researching. Excuse me, some of the artists in blues, and just kind of familiarized myself. And a lot of the men in blues is where I kind of got my motivation from, like folks like Alvin Collins and
Okay.
um, like BB King too. My goodness, he could really get some funky stuff on. Um, Bobby Blue Bland. Um, oh, he's kind of escaping my brain right now. It's been a long day already,
Well,
but
you're answering my second question. I mean, it's who was the first artist you heard that made you realize I have to do this with my life?
well, actually, it was a woman. Her name was Lynn Wright, and that was I heard her doing um, Down Home Blues, and that's the first blues tune that I ever learned. And
I remember that.
as we seriously, yeah, that was the first blues tune that I learned. And as I got more and more into it, and over the years, and started to do festivals and stuff, then Etta James did a version of that I just fell in love with because I always wanted to have a big band, a horn band, and I got it. I did it. And when I heard Etta James' version of it, we absolutely had to do it. And I said that was the first blues tune I ever learned, and then it was just like, my God, there's a lot of little treasures out here, and folks were just kind of just doing it the way that they heard it. They're not changing much of anything, just kind of going with the flow. And with here I come, and I'm going to rock the boat. So, and I did.
Can you
So I
paint,
did.
can you paint a picture of the very first place you ever performed live? And what did it smell like? I mean, look like, and how did
Oh
you?
my God! I did. Yes, I can.
I mean, how did you
Yes,
feel
I
when you
can.
stepped onto the stage? And it's,
I'm gonna tell you, it was JJ's Blues on Stevens Creek in San Jose, and
I
it
think
was
I was
the very
there.
first, my very first time. You've been there, huh?
Yeah.
It was the very first time that I performed live, doing blues, and the place. I mean, the stage was the size of a postage stamp, and we managed to get everybody up there. And when It was. And when you walked into the place, the stage was just to the left of you. So you had to walk. It was a long, narrow bar, and so you had to walk down to the end to and turn around to look at the stage.
Yeah.
And it just smelled like beer and wine, and and full of people there just enjoying their libations. And that was the first time I performed, and doing blues. And there were I had like two ladies doing backup vocals behind me, and drums, bass, and keyboard. Art Chavez playing keys, and he also doubled on sax. And Andre Lewis, and I can't remember who was playing guitar for me now. That was many, many, many moons ago. But that was the first time that we did anything, and people liked it. So I decided, well, it's time to expand on this now and just grow it. And the more I got into it, I met more and more musicians, and that kind of led me to even more talented musicians to work with. That's kind of how I found you too, and we just kept going. We just kept going. But that place was more like a blues landmark in the Bay Area, and especially like in San Jose, everybody wanted to play there. And then when they expanded and they opened up JJ's downtown, and they
Yeah.
had JJ's in Mountain View, and I did all of those,
Yeah.
and it was fun. It was fun. It
I
was fun.
remember.
But JJ's Stevens Creek was the very first one.
Yeah, I remember Mountain View. Did with Johnny Lee Hooker.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, oh yeah, yeah. Story that I'll tell you later on.
Okay. One of those stories, huh?
Well, okay, here it is. Back then, I was thinner. I had long curly hair, and I looked like a chick. And that was what was going on with Johnny. Johnny, he he kept looking over at me and smiling.
Oh
He
my.
thought I was a girl playing the keys. True story. And
Oh
when
God.
he found out that I was a guy, he fired me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my God. That's too funny.
You know me, sit-in artist, blues, keyboards, the whole 9 yards, fit right in with the band. But my favorite story was Johnny Lee Hooker's sound guy. He says, "Now you got to keep his level as high as possible so that you can catch every nuance that he's doing. But when he
Uh-huh.
goes to play the guitar, you got to be ready to turn everything down." True story, man.
Oh my Lord. Oh
So
my Lord.
every blues singer has a mentor or an elder who showed them the ropes. Who gave you your most important early lesson, and what was it?
That would be Miss Ruth Brown. That would be Miss Ruth Brown.
Okay, Ruthie.
She, yes, indeed. I just absolutely loved her. And the thing is I didn't realize just how how much our lives were intertwined. When I was growing up,
Yeah,
my mom was the choir director, uh, keyboardist, you name it, for the church. It was one of the largest churches in Norfolk, Virginia, Queen Anne Baptist Church. And they used to do gospel concerts together, Ruth and my mom, the churches. And she used to come to our house. We lived with my grandmother at 1338 Church Street. I'll never forget it, Norfolk, Virginia.
okay.
And I had no idea who she was. I was just a kid then. And as we grew older and we started hearing her, they call her the Miss Rhythm, and she and being brought up in that uh, Southern Baptist atmosphere, that was considered very much the devil's music, back then. And she took a lot of flack for that. She did. A lot of us did. Um, a lot of the blues artists did back then. That was the devil's music.
Yes, and Elvis
And
moving his pelvic.
yeah, she she had an amazing career. Amazing career. They call Atlantic the house that Ruth built because she fought for um, royalties for blues artists that were not getting paid royalties, for their music. And so they call it the house that Ruth built. And she started the Rhythm and Blues Foundation, which is based in New York as well. And when you see someone doing things like that, I mean, you can't help but, you know, you just admire them. And when we got reconnected, we were both doing the Oakland Blues and Heritage Festival, and we were in on the stage in the back, and she was on the main stage. And when she got done, the guy that produced the festival asked us if we would just stick close to her and take her around, show her around, and until everything was done, and they would take her back to her hotel. So we got talking,
Okay.
and some things started coming out like, no, this couldn't possibly be. I said, "Do you know my mom? The Ethel Brown?" And she goes, "Well, yes." I'm going, "Well, I'm a kid. I'm her daughter." And
Wow.
when we figured out where we both came from and who we had in common, it was on. I mean, that was it. We were just kind of attached at the hip from that point on. And I learned a lot from her, an awful lot from her, with regards to stage presence, your music, how you set up your show, um, all kinds of just the little nuances that make things really really special, when you're out there and totally associated with you. So I developed my style just kind of watching her, and she gave some great sage advice, and I still carry it in my heart today, and will till I die. But that was one incredible woman.
Your voice has uh, came to in a beautiful uh, bloom. Um, I mean, it grit with warmth and power. Um, how has your relationship with your own voice changed over the years? Like when you were
Uh, that's an interesting question. It has changed. It has changed. As you get older, things do change. I think now I think it's even more mellow than it was before. It has, I think it's matured, and I I'm very comfortable with that, and I don't fight it. I just kind of let it happen,
I
and
hear there's a lot more tremolo in your voice. When you let out, there's a lot more tremolo. How you vibrate with the and harmonize with the music. It's really good.
ah, thank you. Yeah, it's just interesting, and
Part of the craft, you're this is an instrument, and
yes, it is.
yeah. So the blues relies heavily on phrasing. Um, it's not just what you sing, but the space you leave between.
How you sing it.
Yeah, and how do you decide when to pull back and let a moment breathe? I mean, it's got to come naturally, or a gut feeling, or it's part of the heart. I mean, can you talk about that at all?
It's it's interesting that you asked that question because the gentleman that produced my album, Strong Confident Woman, The Smooth Blues of Miss Taylor P. Collins.
Yeah.
Um, he the first song that he worked on was "Cry Me a River," and that's one of my all-time favorite tunes to
Yeah.
do.
I
And
like that one. It's really slow, but I like it.
yeah,
It takes deep
yeah,
depth.
it is. That's how I feel it. That's how I sense it. And
Okay.
I don't think about how I'm phrasing it. It just kind of comes naturally, for me.
Sure.
And he was saying the same that he thought my phrasing was just right on point, and it's not, I don't think about it. I just do it, and that's what happens. It just comes out, and it always seems to work. So yeah, it's not something that I think about. It's not something that I practice. It's all with feeling. I'm feeling when I'm getting to a certain point in the song. That's what comes out. So
Kind of tapping into a collective universal feeling.
yeah, 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 absolutely.
Well, good. I mean, when you're writing a song, do the lyrics usually come from a specific lived experience? Are you tapping into that collective universal feeling?
Uh, sometimes, sometimes. Um, the one song that my son and I collaborated on, "Something Strange," um,
All right.
that came directly from what's going on out here in the world today, and those lyrics kind of came naturally. Um, I mean, it was just wow. I don't even know how to explain that one. It just with what's going on, the things that you see every day, the things that are happening to citizens of this country, with being thrown into detention centers and ripping families apart and things like that. It just those lyrics just kind of came, and it's more like having a conversation or sitting down and just talking to someone about what's going on in the world today.
Sure.
And I just was blessed to be able to put it to music. And I have performed that a couple times or so out here, and it always gets a warm reception, which tells me that I was definitely on the right track with that, with my son and I. So you know, what can I say?
How do you keep classic blues standards feeling fresh and urgent every single night, rather than treating them like museum pieces?
That's why I have a big band. That's why I have a horn band, because there's
Okay.
more than one way. There's more than one way you can interpret the blues. A lot of the musicians I know out here, and especially vocalists, they are kind of locked into one vein. That's how they learn the song, and that's how they'll do it the rest of their lives. With me, um, I can learn the song the way that it was probably originally written, but when I have to put my spin on it, and having horns in your band allows you to do that, and just having excellent top caliber musicians to work with always puts a different face on it.
Yeah.
And when you can and throw horns in on top of that, that's what you do, and it just kind of changes things. It just changes things. It changes the way that you feel about the song. We can um, help new emotions in whoever's listening to you, have that resonate with them in a different way. And it's just yeah, that's what you got to do. You have to be able to and be willing to deviate from the norm. And I had someone tell me when I first started that, well, you need to do songs that people recognize. And I said, why? I mean, that I am doing the song. He says, well, people don't recognize that song. I said, well, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them. Your attitude should be, you need to educate them
There you go.
and show them a different side of that song that they probably have never ever thought about. And that's the way I operate. You know, it
I
has
like-
to be, or I get bored.
Well, I think I'm gonna kind of breeze through chapter 3 here, because the life on the road and the evolution of which is more like your touring was and is um, one night stands, so to speak, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, is there any any moments that pop off, like maybe a New Year's Eve gig, or I know that there's a couple that we did that were memorable. Not to say they're surreal, because every time I was on stage with you, they were surreal. Unforgettable.
Oh, I hope so.
How
Oh
do you
my Lord.
how do you protect the spirit and stay grounded when you're living out of a suitcase for your weeks at a time? Just doesn't cut it, you know.
Well, I'm glad I really didn't do much like that, but to keep my spirit going, I believe in God, and I everything I do is with that in mind, and it keeps me calm and keeps me safe, within myself, and I'm able to let that come through in my music as well. But that's how I stay grounded, and
Well,
just don't let it get away from me.
you've witnessed the music industry change drastically over your career.
Oh
What
Lord,
what is some,
if it weren't for folks like you, I think a lot of us would be totally lost with the technology going on out here. It's insane. You have to have somebody do that stuff for you now. And with AI and everything, oh my Lord. Oh Lord. Yes, we've seen a lot of changes. My God, we went from we went from having to have cassettes. I don't know. Some of these younger folks out here probably don't even know what a cassette is. And then when the industry started moving away from cassettes, then we got to CDs.
yeah?
And now it's like, even folks probably don't even realize or remember much about what a CD is, because now everything's digital. And
Forget vinyl.
oh yeah, vinyl, 8 tracks too. Yeah, you remember 8 tracks?
Yeah, I was too young for 8 track, but vinyl. I did
Vinyl for sure.
cut a couple of. I still have the vision of my closet, my coat closet. You open the door and you can't see the bottom of the door. It's usually where your shoes are, but instead they're just boxes of records that you spent your own money on, and these records aren't going freaking anywhere. And that's what I miss, was going through the hardship and the pain and the suffering of paying out all that money and then getting the product and then no distribution, not knowing what to do.
There you go. Yeah.
And today it's all like, hold on, let me ask Chat GPT what to do.
That's so true.
They
It's so
don't
true.
know how easy it is today. It's like, the kids, the millennials go, oh no, I got to talk to Chat GPT. Maybe I should have my parent do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
It's
and I'm
hilarious.
grateful for those experiences because I know I went through it. I know you went through it, and things are so much more you know uh, easy when it comes to creating that vehicle digitally.
Hmm.
Once the music is created, and then you go, okay, what do we do now? We got to create a vehicle to where it will distribute the music across the world.
Of course.
Enter.
Of course. Yeah, thank God for CD baby, you know.
Well, let's go to chapter 4, which is a philosophy of blues. I think this is going to be really interesting. Albert King once said, "Everybody wants to know why I sing the blues. How do you
Hmm.
how do you define the line between carrying sorrow and finding joy through this music?"
Oh, you
Carrying
know,
sorrow and finding joy. There's a release.
there, yeah, and you know, I haven't found a lot of sorrow.
Well, what isn't sorrow when you're talking about blues? Blues is the most, you know. I know that when I was playing with um, this one band, and I remember the saxophonist was up for 2.5 days because he had lost his partner and went to a funeral and just and I remember after the second day of being up for 48 hours,
Hmm.
there was so much sorrow, but it all came out in his saxophone solo, and it was the most awesome saxophone solo I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm sure, you know, and
And
like I
that's
said,
where
when I said,
the joy comes in, is where the connection of that sorrow, carrying the sorrow up to a point and finding the joy through that release.
you know, I try very, you know, and I've had a lot of loss, and we've had a lot of loss in our family,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was hard, but in my soul, in my heart, I I couldn't write a sad song because that's not what these people would have wanted me to do. Um,
So you think someone has to experience deep hardship to truly sing the blues, or is it just
well,
more?
yeah, and some folks, yes, but for me, I wanted to find the joy in in that experience, as difficult as it was,
Yeah.
um, to um, to go through that. I mean, it was like it started in 2018, and these dates are just they just resonate. Um, my grandmother passed away on September 20th, 2018. She was 109 years old. And 2 months to the day, November 20th, 2018,
Yeah.
my mom joined her. And wow. And then 2 years later, we lost one of our siblings, my brother Gene.
Okay.
2 years after that, I lost my son. A year after my son, we lost my baby sister's husband, um, in geez, June of 23. And I couldn't really cry. I mean, I mean, I don't know if it was something where I was being protected, you know, by God.
Yeah.
Um, but I had to I I I couldn't write a sad song. I couldn't. I had to focus on writing what was good about all those relationships. And I have, songs sitting back there, they're not finished, that are definitely reflecting that. I
It's more like
it's
Give Love instead of The Thrill Is Gone.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, these people gave me a lot, and I am who I am because of them. And that's not anything to be sad about.
No, of course
Um,
not. Yeah.
and I just always want to be able to find joy in the relationships that I had with each of these individuals who had such a deep impact on my life.
So
And
what is the biggest misconception that people have about blues music or blues performers?
oh, a lot. Yeah, my dog died. My baby left me. Um, you know, oh no, my baby ran off with with another man or another woman or whatever. That's kind of what the conception is. That, and
The
I see
sun
that in a
only
lot
comes
of
out
folks.
on Wednesday,
Yeah,
and if you don't get up early enough, you'll miss it.
oh, hey, it's
Which-
crazy. It's crazy, Mike. It's crazy, Michael. I'm telling you, but that's what most people think the blues is, and it's not. It's not totally, no, and that's why it has to keep. We have to keep um, finding different ways to express it, and and give people a different perspective as to what blues can be. And it's not all about sadness or anything. Like I said, my dog died and all that kind of stuff. That's not really what it's about. Blues can be a very joyful thing, a very joyful thing.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that's where my head is. That's where my head is.
So when you look back at everything that you've sacrificed for your art, what makes it all worth it?
Where I am today, and being able
Friend to interview you, is that what you're talking about?
you know,
Because I see a
just
confident woman right here. That's what I see.
what can I say? But just the people that I'm working with now, the musicians I'm working with now,
Yeah.
this was all worth it. This was all worth it. I Man, these are some of the cream of the crop of musicians here in the Bay Area, and I'm blessed. I am blessed to have them. And my keyboard player, I don't know if you remember Pam Arthur or not, Pamela Charles Arthur, but she's been with me now over 30 years. And my drummer has been with me about 25.
All right.
My trumpet player has been with me for about 10. And we have some newbies there now. My trombone player has been with me for about 7. And my tenor players, we've only been together now like for maybe a couple years or so now. But my God, he's amazing. He's a monster.
All right.
And Pam, we call her the keyboard goddess. And Bill Ireton is one of the most incredible guitarists you'll ever meet in your life. The man, his sensitivity, his everything about him is just incredible. And put them all together, my Lord, I'm in seventh heaven. And when we get together to work together, it's like it's family. It's family. That's my band family, and we get together. It's special. It's really special. And
There's
people
the joy.
tell us that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, if you can look back at your younger self on the night of your very first professional gig, what piece of advice would you whisper to them?
Well, know that probably who you start with is not who you're going to end up with. Yeah. Because if you don't grow and work with musicians who are better than you are, and that's exactly what I look for, you're not growing. And
No.
if you're not willing to grow, then you're just doing this for a hobby, and you can just stay in your garage. But if you really want to be serious about, building a career in this industry, and especially with blues,
Yeah.
you have to constantly be at it. You have to constantly be looking for something that's different, until you get to where you want to be. You have to have a vision. You have to have a vision, and that vision has to be big enough that you can include other people. I've run across quite a few, and I have like fired quite a few because they did not have a vision, and they didn't want to grow, and so there was no room for them in my vision. If you're not willing to grow, you got to go. And good luck. I wish no ill will on anyone, but I have a direction I'm going, and I will get there, and it's probably going to be without you. And you have to bear that in mind. Don't get your feelings hurt, if it doesn't work out with them, because my God, in the Bay Area, if you can't find a good musician, there's something wrong with you. You know, you know? Seriously, very seriously. If there are, I mean, we went from ended up working with um, oh God, Rich Agwan, hot drummer. He's the drummer for the Whispers, and we're
Yeah.
good friends. And working with him is really special. Jeff Chambers, hot bass player, jazz world, and he worked with folks like Wayne Shorter and Dizzy Gillespie and folks like that. And then he wanted to work with little old me. Yeah, I'm blessed. And you have to go through, who was it? And I'm not going to say that. You got to go through a little bit of something to get to where where you need to be with musicians. You got to go through it. You got to pay some dues, and it's not going to come easy. But if you're focused and you really know what you want, and you don't lose sight of where you want to go, you'll make it. You'll make it.
And always
And
remember the word dues rhymes with blues.
oh yeah, for real, you're gonna pay some dues. You're truly gonna pay some dues. And I remember you, Mike, with the Benny and the Jets thing. That was one of the most fun things that you allowed me to participate in, and I absolutely enjoyed every minute of that. And so it's not easy. And
No.
that show, you built something really great there. You really did. And I was just really impressed. And people still think that was a baby grand you were hauling around.
You know, that guy must be really strong because he's moving that grand piano all by himself.
Oh yeah, it was crazy, and I'll never forget the night that you invited me to be a part of your show, and I actually found that video too, and VHS. I found it. Yeah, yeah, and I was doing background work with you that night, and I don't remember the kid's name that was with you that was also doing background. He was a little uptight, I think. He
Steve.
needed to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, his name was Steve.
Oh, okay, yeah. And you were doing the Elton John thing, the tune. I hope you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. Um,
It's a little. It's a little bit funny
there you go. And
inside.
you got to the one lyric line, and I jumped in. It just hit me, and I thought, wow, in my head, man, that would sound cool. And I did that line with you in harmony, and you could hear like quiet come over the room, and I could hear somebody go, "Oh, yeah." I'm going, that's Mikey, that's Mikey, and that kid got so mad at me. He said that wasn't rehearsed. I said, he was upset with me, and I'm going, honey, get over it. Yeah, just get over it.
Yeah,
Everything is,
yeah.
everything cannot be rehearsed. Every moment that you are doing music cannot be rehearsed. There's going to be some improvisation happening. And if you
That's
can't
one thing.
handle that,
That's
and
one
if
thing
you
that
can't
I like.
handle that, get out of the room,
Yeah.
you know.
Improvisational uh, guru here.
Whoa. I love that show. You did an incredible thing with that. That was just amazing.
Yeah, the tribute to the music of Elton John and band
Yes.
Benny and the Jets. Thank you. I
Benny and the
appreciate it.
Jets.
Yeah, Benny and the Jets. What do you want your lasting contribution to the story of the blues to be?
Well,
I mean, I think if you've already probably have explained it through all these questions about your deepest anxieties, and it's not always has to be about your dog, or the the bank account is overdrawn. Blue. There's a joy in blue.
oh
And
yeah, there is, and I would hope that um, folks would remember, and this is going to sound kind of cliche, but I would hope that folks would remember that I did it my way, and um, that's
okay.
what you have to do to set yourself apart.
Yeah,
And if you can do that, then you're going to leave something that people will never forget, and that's what I hope will happen with when people hear my music. That it's not I did something different.
very good. That's I support that. I'll back you up on that one because that's
Right
you.
on.
Yeah. You got anything to say before we part our ways? You got somebody to shout out at? Let's say maybe say hello to Betty.
Oh, hey Betty, DJ, what's up, girl? Love you, darling. Love you. You
I
just
mean,
take care of yourself. We finally got it done. We finally got it done.
yeah. I mean, we go.
That's
Set the
another strong,
wayback
confident woman.
machine. Set the wayback machine with Betty. She
Oh
went on
yeah. Oh God.
tour with us on the Elton John show, but she did a lot of museum gigs for you. She did some stuff for you. I mean, it's just like you guys, all three of us, we go way
Yes,
back.
she did. Yes, she
Yeah,
did. We go way back, way back. I remember the she got us the gig with um I think his name was Benjamin Hom. He was running for office up in the city.
yeah.
That was an interesting thing. I think you were with me on that one. Um, but and then there was someplace I want to say the estuary, and wasn't actually in Berkeley, but maybe Emeryville.
Maybe
Um,
in Rayville, yeah.
yeah, and just all kinds of things, all kinds of things. She even gotten hooked up with um, um, the radio station that was doing jazz at the time. I can't remember the call letters for it now, but we got hooked up with that, and she did a lot of good things for a lot of people. And it's time for her to reap the rewards of all that work. It really is. And
Yeah.
love you, darling. Really, right here.
Love you, Betty.
Yes, indeed. And just take care of yourself. Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking this time to go back to memory lane, but really getting a chance to pick your brain with these wonderful questions. I have to say that I don't know where I would be without Chat GPT.
None of us would know what to do without ChatGPT. Oh Lord. I mean, I just about everything I have to ask it, is this cool? Is this cool? And then you
Yeah.
stop and think about who are you talking to really? And how are they knowing all this stuff? You
All
know?
right. Well, are you experienced? Thank you for uh, hanging out with us for an hour. And my guest, Miss Taylor P. Collins, blues singer and sensation performer extraordinaire and dear friend.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
darling. I appreciate that.
All right. I'll see you soon.
You bet.